Welcome to this little demo on how to search for items on the BennettShops.com website. When you first come to the website, you will see by default the most recent 24 items that have been posted by the sellers. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you can click on View More Items to see more items, the next 24 and so on. There's just a few demo items on here just for illustration purposes. If you're scrolling down at the bottom and you want to get back to the top, there's a little icon down here. You can click to here and it'll pop you back up to the top. So we're going to look at some of the searches, and the main category search will show only categories of items that are present on the website. So if I click on garden here and I click on the search button, then we'll see all of the items that are related to garden categories. We have a way of searching on subcategories, which I'll show you in a minute, but when you do a new search, it's always a good idea to clear the old one. So we'll go ahead and we'll clear this one, and it always takes us back to the default 24 items that were most recently posted. We can search by seller name, and if I type in the letter B, you'll see the sellers that have the B within their name, and the more that I type, the more it'll filter. And so I can select that particular seller, and I can search on that seller's products or items and scroll down and see them, and that seller's logo will show at the top here next to the Bennett Shops logo. So we can also search by main category for that seller, and for that particular seller there is a furniture category among others, so we'll go ahead and click on search and we'll see the furniture items belonging to that particular seller. So we can go ahead and clear this again. And let's put in a keyword. So let's put in the keyword rusty. We're looking for things that are rusty, and we'll click on the search button again, and we'll see items that have the word rusty in their description. And it can be in any way. It can be in the title or the description. The other thing we can do here with the keyword is we can also search by the item number. And if I type in item number 29 and search, then you'll see that it's brought me up number 29. We can also go to the advanced search, and when we go to the advanced search, we can search by the subcategories, and it will show all of the subcategories for all of the items that are on there for this particular seller, because we didn't cancel. So let's just close this for a second and let's cancel our previous search. And now when we see the categories, you can see there's a lot more categories because this represents the subcategories of all of the sellers, not just the selected seller. So when you have a seller search, it'll limit the items to that particular seller's categories and subcategories. If you don't have a particular seller name, then all of the items will be available. One of the things we can do to filter by category is type in or dictate, if we're using a smartphone, the word table. If I do table as opposed to tables, then we'll see anything with the word table in, and we can go ahead and select one of those, and we can search by that by clicking on the search button, and then we'll see the rusty dining table and so on. So we can clear that search again and go back to the main listing. We can search by keyword again, of course, and by seller, of course, within this advanced search. And we can also search by state. So if I select New York, then it'll show me all of the items that are available from New York. And if I choose a particular city in New York, then it will filter those items again on items that are in New York City. And of course, we can change the state to another state at any time. So you may have noticed there is a little number by the camera icon, and that number obviously indicates the number of images that are available for that particular item. So if I click on the camera or on the image, it doesn't matter, it'll drill me down to the detail of that item, and I can see the other images. It'll scroll actually, but I'm just speeding it up by clicking on the little arrows. So I can also click on that particular image to get a larger version of the image. And if I close this and I go to a more close-up, this is a close-up taken of the same painting, then I can see more detail too. And of course on an iPhone you can actually expand and contract that image as well. And of course here's a little, just an indication of detail of the frame. So the sellers will put up as many images as is necessary to best illustrate the items that they have available for you. The other thing that you may have noticed is that there are no prices. Well, you have to register in order to see the prices. So what you'll do is you'll click on the register login, and you'll click on the first time user button and fill out your first name, last name, your email address, and your password, and then repeat the password just to make sure that you have it correct. So once you do submit your registration, you'll be automatically logged in. So I'll go ahead and log in so you can see the difference once you're a logged in user of the site. So now that I'm logged in, I can see prices. As you can see down here, I can see the price. And then if I want to contact the seller, I simply click on Contact Seller, and I can either send an email or a text message. And the seller will receive basic information about you and know how to contact you. And you just type in your message here if you have questions or if you're interested in such an item, and click on Send Message. So that's how you'll contact the seller. And now that we are logged in, we can actually search by price range. So if we click on the advanced search, just scroll up a little ways here, and we enter a price range between 200 and 300 and click on our search, then we'll see we've got a filtered list of items between those prices. One other thing we can do once we're logged in is we can share items with people that we think might be interested in a particular item. So let's say we knew somebody who was very interested in pewter plates or in heraldry. We could drill down on this particular item, and then we can click on the share button above here and then simply fill out a list of email addresses of people with whom we wish to share this particular item. And I'll just put in a very simple concept here to show you how it works. So imagine those are two legitimate email addresses, a@b.com and c@b.com. So you'll see the little comma here. So when you do send an item like this or refer an item like this to multiple people, make sure you put a comma between the email addresses. You don't need one at the end, but you do need them between the email addresses. And of course, then you would type in your message here and click on send emails. And each of those people will get an email saying that you'd recommended this or you thought that they may be interested in this item. And the email contains a link back to that specific item. So if they click on the link, it brings them to the website, but points them directly to that particular item. And then from there, of course, they can see other items if they wish. Now, all of the transactions on the website are exclusively between you and the seller. The website doesn't have any upcharges, it doesn't have any commissions to the sellers, so it's the seller price directly to you that you'd be paying, and that's why we want you to contact the sellers directly and work with them directly and make arrangements for either shipping or pickup, insurance, and so on and so forth, and of course payment. So I hope you've enjoyed this little brief illustration, and hope you find a lot of very interesting and fun things on the website. Thank you very much.